Hello, this is Kyle Bradford with Microfocus, and I'm going to demonstrate how to print from a Chromebook. If you go to the IPP page, as you would with Windows or Mac, typically you would go click this link and it would install the printer. But because this is a Chromebook, it doesn't have a printer driver. It's not going to do anything here. What we need to do is add a Chromebook extension for the Microfocus iPrint. And before I add that extension, I want to show you from an administrator perspective what you need to do to cause this to work. This works with iPrint Appliance 2.1 and above, and with OES iPrint 2015 with the OES with the iPrint add-on. First thing you need to be aware of is that within the management console, you can configure your renderers. Right now I'm using the default configuration, which is the local renderer, which means the print job will be sent from the Chromebook to the iPrint server and be rendered by this configuration. If I edit this, I have the default driver selected, which is the generic PostScript printer Fumatic PostScript driver. And that will work for many people in many situations. If your print job comes out garbled or not as accurate as you'd like it to be, then you can go to iManager and go to Manage Driver Store and upload another PPD or Linux print driver. You just go into here, you click Drivers, you're going to select your platform of Linux. And notice I have 3 drivers. 2 of them came with the system, and this one I added after the fact. If I wanted to add yet another, I'd click Add from File. A good place to find printer drivers is linuxprinting.org, which redirects you to this site. You click on Our Database, Printer Listing, and you can go through and find your manufacturer and model printer. It will either direct you to a PPD file to download, or it might have a utility such as HPLIP for you to download. For this purpose, I'm going to go to Generic. I'm going to say my printer supports PCL5E, show this printer, and you'll be shown a page with all these driver options. You'll want to choose the directly download PPD file, and this is the file that you download to your workstation and upload through iManager. I won't show you that right now, but that's how you can configure, manipulate, troubleshoot the rendering of the print job as it comes out of the Chromebook to the iPrint server and to the network printer. And you can also change that on a per printer basis. You can go to Manage Printer, and you can have a different driver for every printer. And maybe your printers will require that. Most customers I work with will use one generic driver for all their printers, and that seems to work well. But if it doesn't, you just go into the Linux one and select a specific driver. I'll select this. So all my printers are going to be using that generic driver, but this one printer, Printer 01, will be using that HP driver instead. And that's all the configuration you need to do. And you can change the default driver for everybody, for all printers, going through here, and I could select this to be the default driver for everyone, but I'm not going to do that right now. So that is the rendering configuration. You could also click New and add a remote renderer, which I won't talk about here, but other videos talk about, where you'd connect to a Windows machine that has Windows printer drivers configured, and it will use a Windows rendering technology instead of the local Linux rendering technology. So we have the iPrint printer is created. It has a rendering configuration by default. And now I'm going to show you as an end user how you would print. I'm going to pull up a remote access to my Chromebook. And there's lots of ways to get to this. I'm just going to go to Google Microfocus. I'm going to do a search for Microfocus iPrint extension. You could go to the Chrome. Yeah, and if you spell it right, it'll even be better, but it gets me there nonetheless. And so if you're using a Chromebook, you're familiar how to find extensions. There's lots of ways to do it. Here is the Microfocus iPrint one. All I need to do is click Add to Chrome. add the extension, it installs it, and we're done. Now I have this icon up here, that the iPrint icon, and notice I do not have any printers configured for it. It tells me how to do that, so let's do that. Go back to my IPP page, I'm going to hit refresh, and now when I click the link, before it did nothing, now it shows it's installing the printer. It is not installing the printer driver. This is simply adding this iPrint printer as an available printer to be in the list of the printer list when you choose to print from Chrome. The first time you do this, I've done this before on this machine, the first time you do this you'll get a message telling you that the certificate is not trusted. You can accept that as an end user and continue anyway. If you don't want your end users to be presented with that, you can install third-party certificate, and then that'll be trusted automatically and you'll avoid that trusted prompt. The printer has been configured. I click here, I see it is there. I'm going to do two simple printing tests. One is I'm just going to print the Google home page, do a Control-P to bring up my printers dialog. Here's a preview of what it will look like. Notice the destination printer is the printer 01. I could change it and choose a different printer. I don't have many printers configured. I will go ahead and print this. It says job is submitted successfully. Now what happened here is the HTML file went to the iPrint server, and then it was rendered on the iPrint server and then sent to my printer. So we got the message that said it printed successfully, and notice we have a green checkbox here that shows that the printer is configured for this Chromebook. Another way to print is to go to Google Drive or a Google document. Go to Google Drive. And I have a test print job. Similar interface, and click print. Job submitted. Job is submitted successfully. So that is how you print from a Chromebook to an iPrint server. Thank you.